All right, we have just taken a 2-1 lead against Tezuka, and we want to make a hand on his rule set because he has had the advantage every game on it. And I'm going to remind what the rules are. It's level 4, 5, 6. Must use 2 level 5s, 1 level 4, so 2 level 6s. And the other stips are no 8-8 corners, so that only affects level 6. No 7-7 corners at level 6 or at level 5, which means no 7-7 corners at all, and no 7-7-7. So all I have to remember is no 8-8s, no 7-7-7s, and no 7-7s. Because, luckily, there are no 7-7s at level 4. So we survive that. We have a 2-1 lead. And the other stip is can only use cards from 2 decks and must use at least 2 cards from each deck. So he's been using 8-7-5-3s quite effectively. And I like 8-7-5-3s. And I used 7-3-5-8, but it lined up really badly when he used 8-7-5-3. I like the idea of using these 8-7-6s, but they didn't play well the game I used them. They didn't play well. And FF10 has 2 of them, but they just, they didn't work for me. So I feel like I should be in the 8-7 area. I think he's right. I think he's been using better hands than me, and I should adjust towards what he's doing. And I think specifically, there's another 8-7-6-1. I think I want 8-7-4-3s or 8-7-5-3s. Now, he's used some double number cards, and those have played well. Like, he used a 4-4-8-7, and he used the 6-4-3-6 both games, and those played well. The double numbers were relevant. There were a lot of 0 gaps as well as 1 gaps, and those played well. So I'm not, ruling out 3-3-7-8 on this jerk from FF Tactics. Why am I blanking on his name? We can open image in new tab and it'll tell me. I'll guess. I wanted to say Agrias, and obviously that wasn't right, so I went silent. So maybe something like that. We can pair 7-8-3-3 and 3-3-7-8. I never realized we had this pair, and I love FF Tactics. This is obviously kind of a garbage pair because they have no plus wall synergy with each other, but also kind of hot because I like pairs. Yeah, let's start there. We might make 2 hands. So right now we're only in FF Tactics, and that gives a lot of freedom. And we have corners for 3 and 7. Five, 7, 6, 2 is a card I like. Tried to use earlier. If I go 5-7-6-2, I could go back to 6-3-6-7. This is close to being a pair. And then here's Tactics. And I sort of have a card for each corner, and then I just need an FF9 level 4. I'm not too directionally committed. He's been using 6-4-3-6. 1-6-5-6 won't play well here. What are the 8-7 corners he's used? He's rotated them. But if they've been in 1 or 9, the 8s have been sideways, which means 6-3-6-7 and 5-7-6-2 will play well against those because each of them plus wall the 7. And when they've been in 3 and 7, they have been up, down, the 8s going up, and the 7s going side to side, and my hand does not play against those well. So I'd really like some plus wall potential against 8s going up and down, and I must use an FF9 card. 5653 has a little coverage. Might be the only coverage there is. 1764 has some coverage. 6147 does not for my purposes. Maybe 1764. How does it look? After that, 5762 feels maybe less useful. Let's swap that out. Still have a card for each corner. I still have good 8 coverage. I just lost a little bit of... I have better 8 coverage. I just lost a little bit of 7 coverage. I just lost a little bit of 7 coverage. But as long as I have like one side of each corner covered, I should have tools to... to do stuff. So right now, I should check what I have against an 8-7 and a 7-6 corner of every permutation in every corner. I think that's kind of the easiest thing to do. So in 1, if it's an 8 right and a 7 down, I cannot touch it. That's good to know. If it's a 7 right and an 8 down, I can take it with 1764 in 2, and hopefully that would give me time to set up on the other side. Maybe something like 6-3, 6-7, and 5. No, I'm not liking this hand at all. I don't like these 8-7s. Okay. What if we start with 2 6-7 6-3s? What if we just say 6-7 6-3s are the best level 5s, and they're really good at adjusting for level. They're going to be able to handle stuff, especially in pairs. We said, actually, let's do the other pair. Let's do the 7-6-3-6 and 3-6-7-6, if I can remember what decks they are. 3-6-7-6. What deck is this? Is this Suikoden 5? I think this is Suikoden 5. No, you know what? We're going to do these side-to-side ones because I want to make sure I'm not cheating at the stips and I don't feel like looking up the cards. So we got FF9 and FF7, classic pair. Okay. At this point, we have all 7s up, down, pretty well covered. So the 7-6 corners we cannot necessarily take are 7-6s where the 7 is left or right and the 6 is up or down. Though we have fantastic tools against those, right? Like, that's not scary at all. For instance, if they started with, a 7-6 corner in 1 with a 7 to the right and a 6 down, I so far couldn't take it, but I could play 6-7, 6-3, and 5, and 6-3, 6-7 would now have the same in both 2 and 4. So we're really just, these two cards together mean there's no 7-6 corner that can be very scary to my hand. I also think it gives me good potential starter options against his hand, because I noticed his hands often had one number above a 6 in a direction. And this gives me lots of corners where I can have a 6 facing out that's just a little tricky for him to deal with. So I hope this is a powerful core. Now, what about verse 8s? How do we deal with 8-7 corners? If, say, he has a 7-8 corner in 1. So if the number first, I'm doing clockwise, so the number first is going to be the first card I'd list, which is not the number going up, which is the first number, but the numbers facing out are right and down. So if I say 7-8, I'm meaning 7 to the right, 8 down. I think that'll be faster than saying every time. So if they have a 7-8 corner in 1, 7 to the right, 8 down, I potentially have tools to set up against it, right? The 7 I can set up against in either 3 or 5, and the 8 I can set up against in 5, but I do not currently set up both ways at once. If it was an 8-7 corner, I would have the 7 really well covered, and I would not yet have tools versus the 8. But this makes me think if the rest of my hand is doing any work at all, it will fill out nicely. So let's do the level 6s. And we got FF7. Now, FF7 is not offering me a lot here. The 7177 is banned. The 8148 is banned. 4818 is legal, but not a very dynamic card. Let's move to the FF9s. We have a classic pairing of Cinna and Blank. That's a pretty powerful pairing. And Blank at least gives some coverage to 8, Cinna a bit less so. This is also where he got the 4/4/8/7, which is a pretty powerful card. The FF7 cards are only giving me 5/2/8/7 and 1/7/8/5 for potential 8/7 corners. So 1/7/8/5 and 8/4/3/7 I could do. I could do 5/2/8/7 and that doesn't have a pair. Or I could just go the 2 FF9s with Blank and Cinna. And that's probably the more powerful effect. Yeah, so he had spent, just going back to the, no, this is not the same video as I recorded the game. But in the last game, he spent a lot of time on a move in 8, which is where I would have been looking too. And didn't have enough time to consider 6. That makes sense. Blank and Cinna are just a nice pair. Let's see what it looks like. Now, my one big worry is I have no cards that are good both left and right. I also have no 8s up or down. But I'm really good at covering 7s, right? Like if there's a 7 down, I have many ways to attack it on either side of the board. If there is an 8 down, I do not have particularly good tools. If there is a 7 up, I'm great. If there is an 8 up, if it's in 9, I have it covered. We haven't seen that. If it's in 7, like the 8/7/5/3 he had in his hand, 8/7/5/3. Could potentially play something like 6/3/6/7 and 5, but that might be difficult to deal with. All right, so potentially an 8 up from 7 is annoying, and an 8 down from 1 or 3. We've only seen it from 3, so an 8 down for 3 is potentially a problem. Now, if we look at the FF7s, because we need to use another FF7, level 4s. 4/3/6/6 kind of appealing, just because his 6/4/3/6 is played so well, but it doesn't actually cover any of the problems. 4/6/3/6 does not cover the problems. Not clear there's a card here that covers the problems. I want to look at 4/6/3/6 and how it interacts with the hand. Because I could see this card fitting. But it doesn't. Huh. All right, let's try the other build. Let's try the other 6/7/6/3 pair. Just gotta make sure I'm getting the right decks, but one of them is Dragon Lance. Yeah, that's Dragon Lance. And the other one is, this must be Suikoden 5, right? Yeah, because this is Suikoden 3 faces, so this must be Suikoden 5. Okay, so we have 3 and 5. So we have Dragon Lance and Suikoden 5 right now. Can we look at them both at the same time? No. Alright, Dragon Lance. Got the 8/7/5/3 that he used against us. And not much else that's legal. So, assuming we use any cards from it at that level, that's probably going to be one of them. And Suikoden 5. 6/7/6/4s I thought a little about because they handle both 8s and 7s a bit, but I think they're just too low power. You're not giving me a lot, Suikoden. Not a lot to work with here. 2/5/8/6 technically sort of pairs, but just seems low power. Let's look back at Dragonlance. 3/5/7/7's not allowed. Yeah, no, this is looking less appealing. Let's start the other way again and see where we go. We could also pair, we could do Elastoid. Let's see what it looks like if we do Elastoid. This cuts FF9, which was definitely the more powerful deck. But FF8 is a very high power deck. So hopefully it can make magic happen. 7, 8, 3, 4, 4, 8, 7, 3. But there's nothing facing left. What does FF7 have? 5, 2, 8, 7, and 7, 8, 3, 4. Not amazing synergy. No, that's not the card I meant to pick. I wanted you, Elverat. Okay, directionally. 23 facing down, 19 facing right, 21 facing left, 24 facing up. But this is starting to look like his hands where you very quickly run out of directional power. Now, I think I want to move back to, is there a 6-2, 6-7, 6-2? There is. Because FF7 wasn't offering much. You can see an FF12 offers more. Go to FF9 and FF12. So we got the 6-3, 6-7. Feel good about that. Where's FF12? Where's FF12? Okay, 6, 7, 6, 2. Yeah. Okay. Now if we go to level 6s, what does FF12 have to offer? It's not the most efficient way I've ever done hand building, but which one's FF12? I think it's this row with starting with 2, 8, 6, 4. Let's check. 1, 6, 6, 8. Is that a level 12? An FF12. Should be. It is. Okay. Not a lot. Alright, but FF9 had us covered pretty well if we wanted on the level 6s with Blank Cinna. And now we need an FF12 for level 4. Can it offer more than FF7 did here? Because FF7, you were a big disappointment on level 4. So I think 7624 is an FF12. Yeah. So okay, that's the row. 3, 5, 6, 5 starting row is the row of cards we're considering. Ooh, 6, 4, 6, 4 is kind of interesting. It's like overly anti-8, but I could also see it being a decent setup card for the rest of the hand. I want to see how that looks. I think it looks like I'm not very good side to side. Or I'm not very consistent. I have to be really careful. But let's think about, do I cover 7s and 8s? 7, 6 corners in, say, 1. 7, 6 corners, so 7 to the right, 6 down. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of tools there. It's just not the hand I want to be making. I think my problem is I need to make the 6, 3, 7, 6 stuff have a different weakness than the 8, 7 corners, and then I'll feel better. So let's make a less cleanly paired hand. We'll start with these because I love them. Then we'll go to level 6, and we'll look for 8, 7 corners that have an up or down weakness. That's what we really want. So 1, 7, 8, 5 is potentially a good choice. 4, 4, 8, 7 sort of does. These don't pair very well, though. 8, 4, 3, 7, and 1, 7, 5, 8. I have 2 cards from each deck. That gives me freedom in the level level 4 because I can go either deck. Let's think about 7, 6 corners. Again, No 7-6 corner where the 7 is side to side is a problem. Behemoths have that so well covered. They pair so nicely against it. And any 7-6 corner where the 7 is up or down, Behemoths, because they have the plus wall on the 7, give my hand a lot of freedom in how to deal with it and can always overpower the 6. So I think I feel pretty good there. What about 8-7s? An 8-7 corner in 1, so that's an 8 to the right and a 7 down. Don't have much against. A 7-8 corner. I also don't have a lot against. Oh man. I got a message, 1 sec. Alright. 8-7 corners. So if the 8 is facing down, right, one behemoth can set up the other if one goes in 5. But don't have a lot of tools here. Can I get something at level 4 that makes it all click? FF7s, you're garbage. What about FF9s? Seven, 2, 4, 5 is a bunch of plus walls against 8s, but none against the 8s he's shown so far. And I think those are likely to return. So what if I only cared about the 4 corners he's shown? So he's shown 5, 8, 7, 3 in 1. Well, how would I meet 5, 8, 7, 3 in 1? Probably pretty unhappily. I have the captures in 4 already. So I just need the capture in 2. And I don't really, so I need to be able to take an 8 going left from 2, or some way to set up against it. 7, 3, 5, 8, and 9. Again, I can handle the capture from 6 easily. The capture from 8, I don't have access to. And I can't even set up. Okay. 4, 4, 8, 7 in 3. I can play 8, 4, 3, 7 in 5, and 1, 7, 8, 5 is both sides. So I think that one I should have pretty well covered. Yeah, I feel decent. I'll have tools against that. And 8, 7, 5, 3 in 7. I think I can play 6, 3, 6, 7, and 5, and 8, 4, 3, 7 has both sides. So I'm comfortable with the corners in 3 and 7. The corners in 1 and 9 are a problem. Alright, that gives a more approachable problem to solve. So we want something that solves corners in 1 and 9. Now 4, 3, 6, 6 kind of jumps out again. 4, 6, 3, 6 might jump out. FF7 maybe not failing us. Maybe. Because both of those innately cover 1. FF9. Is it going to be FF9 that fails me here? FF9 not giving me much. We're going to go with an FF7. Alright, let's try the side-to-side one first. This certainly doesn't hurt against the other 8-7s. And against... Alright, against 5, 8, 7, 3, it has the capture in 2, so that's great. And against 7, 3, 5, 8 in 9, does it help do anything to set up a threat in 8? No. Let's try the other one. Alright. Against 5, 8, 7, 3, and 1, it of course is very good in 2. Against 7, 3, 5, 8 in 9, it of course continues to have a threat in 6, but I don't need more threat in 6. Can it help create a threat in 8? No. I think the other one was a better fit. I can use a lower power card here. Is there anything that just happens to line up really well against those two? Like if 6, 4, 3, 5 came in big here, that would be fine. I could run that, but it doesn't. 3, 5, 3, 7 doesn't help me in 2. Helps me in 8. Alright, if I wasn't so worried about specific cards, what would I want to fill out the hand? Honestly, probably like 6, 5, 6, 5, just to make the behemoth so good. There's a 6, 5, 5, 4. Does that do anything fun? No. But a 4 up or down... No, what is this? So the 6, 3 gaps. I need 5s up and down to be able to make those deal with 8s. Or anything with 5s up and down on FF7 and 9. 6, 3, 5, 6. 6, 5, 5, 4. 5, 6, 5, 3. That certainly covers the 8s, right? Because if there's a 5, 8, 7, 3 in 1, I can play 5, 6, 5, 3, and 5, and 6, 7, 6, 3 is it covered both ways. If there's 7, 3, 5, 8 in 9, I can play 5, 6, 5, 3, and 5, and 6, 3, 6, 7 covers it both ways. If 8, 7, 5, 3 goes in 7, then 5, 6, 5, 3 automatically covers it in 4, so I don't need more coverage. I'd still need to set up for 8 because I don't actually have a capture of that in 8, but you know, we can make that happen. That's not the difficult thing to set up against. And if 4, 4, 8, 7 in 3, my initial idea was 8, 4, 3, 7, and 5. Does this give me other tools against that? Not really, but that's probably a good enough tool. Okay, let's try it. This was me attempting to build a hand. I don't think it's my best work. We'll call it Tez 1. And now we're going to make a hand that purely tries to synergize with itself. This is going to be quicker. We're just going to make what feels powerful. Now, yeah, maybe we'll start with 7266 and we'll combine it with 6672 and see where we get. See what decks we're in. 7266, so this is an FF4. 6672 is an FF10. Ooh, we've been in FF10 before. Alright. Now, probably 8-7 corners. Anything appealing in FF4. Seven, 8, 4, 3. Anything appealing in FF10. 6, 1, 8, 7. Really need a side-to-side card here, I think. That 6272 is a 2627 would be more appealing. What decks are we in? FF4 and FF10. 3647. See how this looks. 7-6 corner in 1. Already kind of annoying. Now, nicely 6-6-7-2 is one part really well covered. So actually, maybe not so annoying. Maybe I play something like 7-2-6-6 and 3. Yeah, there's tools there. Okay, 6-7 corner in 1. I think should have tools there. Nah, I don't like this hand, and I'm tired of hand building. So I think we're gonna call it a video. And these deck restrictions are really messing with what I'd like to do. Actually, one other idea. What if we went the 8-6-1-6 route? I think this actually leaves us in the same decks, FF4 and FF10. And then we have these 6-7-2-6-6 pairs. This is an interesting idea, I think. And 6-6-7-2. And we're really playing on 6s. Now we know anything we can at least capture one way, because the 8-6-1-6s do that. Maybe 1-7-5-5 is a good finish on this. Gives another 1 to play off. The 1-5 can hit the 6s. Not a bad idea. Maybe we need a corner, though. We do have some corners. What does FF10 have to offer? Alright, I'm going to call this Tez 2. Maybe we'll make one more. Now that we're being quick. 4, 5, 6. What if we started from the ground up and just went with cards that seem powerful? FF8, always a good deck. Start with an FF8 corner. What does FF8 have to offer me at level 5? Probably their best card. That kind of knocks out this one though. So let's check the level 4s again. Maybe bomb. Alright, let's go bomb. Actually, maybe we try an up-down here. Maybe this is going to be an up-down card. Maybe we go with I wish the 2 was the other way so it wasn't the same as Elastoids on 6-2-7-3. Right, let's try 3-7-3-6. We're on level 5. Maybe the other 6-2-6-7 is a good pair here. Maybe we'll try FF12. Where's FF12? We saw this card earlier. For FF8 and 12, we would like good level 6s. What corners do we have? We have no corners. So ideally we'd like corners where the weakness is, I think, up or down. I think that's what we're looking for. 8-7 corners where the weakness is up or down. 7-8-3-4 is the closest thing there. What is FF12 got for me? And which one is FF12? I think it's this middle row. No, FF12 is nothing for me. No corners. Alright, well we have 2 potential ideas. I'll call it a video there.